What's going on, guys? My name is Iosko. I am a mixed-race visible minority who immigrated from Bulgaria to Canada with my family in 1994, and this will be my leadership story. So my current leadership positions, I work for the Government of Ontario through the Ministry of Social Services, where I help people with disabilities. Secondly, I also work and mentor youth that have behavioral and developmental challenges of all sorts, and I help them through crisis and emergency situations. And most recently, I have been advocating for social change within law enforcement, in particular against injustices such as racism and corruption that are ongoing within law enforcement right here at home. Leadership skills are something that you develop through experience and through hard work. That is not something that you're just born with. You have to put yourself in positions. Sure, sometimes you get lucky and you get opportunities to maybe become a leader, but for the most part, you have to put yourself in roles where you get a chance to challenge yourself. So not to brag, but this is just as an example. I will share with you what I've done over the last couple of years that helped really build my own personal leadership skills and really kind of strengthen my character as a man, as who I am as a person. And I've worked in the field of social work as well as law enforcement. Those were my two big focuses, and that was the direction that I wanted to go into. In the social work category, I've had amazing opportunities to work with really cool young people. I've worked with little kids in a mental health treatment facility. I've worked in youth group homes where I absolutely loved what I was doing. I've worked in a maximum security youth detention center. I've helped out at shelters. I've helped out at the food bank. I have been on a board of directors. I've coached several sports, including basketball, football, and wrestling. I've coached at the elementary level. I've also coached at the high school level. Over the last couple of years, I've been able to accumulate over 10,000 hours of community service in the Kitchener-Waterloo area alone. I was nominated for an Outstanding Leadership with Youth Award by the Mayor, and I was also featured on CTV for some of the youth work that I did. In the law enforcement category, I have been a police auxiliary officer. I have been a probation parole volunteer officer, where I got a chance to see clients and have my own caseload. I have also been an adult correctional officer in a maximum security facility, and in that same facility I've also been a crisis hostage negotiator, a recreational officer, and I taught life skills classes to adult inmates as a programs officer. I have also protected the mayor as a security manager in the past and done various different roles of security work. It's all about networking, it's about challenging yourself and putting yourself out there, and it's also about the compounding factor. You get one position, you challenge yourself, you develop your skills, and you build your confidence. And then you go to the next thing. And you continue to do this. I have the opportunity to speak up about social justice issues, and I have firsthand experience of what goes on behind the scenes in law enforcement, in particular in corrections in Ontario. It gives me a lot of joy to know that since I've been speaking about it, members of the public are becoming more educated, and also other officers are now joining forces and coming forward with their own stories of racism, sexual harassment, corruption, and bullying. We talk about leadership, and that is what leadership is. Doing the things that many other people might not want to do. Many other people might not want to risk their entire livelihood and speak up about these injustices. So it's something that's really excited me lately. As difficult as it's been, it's made a big difference in other people's lives. The term community, what does it mean? Well, to me, what it means is fellowship, gathering together, supporting, inspiring one another, taking care of your most vulnerable members of that particular group. It is a group of people that share the same common goal and the same type of values, and they're striving to get there. It doesn't matter what race, what background, what country, what culture you come from. Everybody's treated equal and everybody's taking care of one another. That's how I see community. What do I like about my community? I love the fact that it is a very multicultural city. And I also love the social services that are available. For a city of this size, we do have a lot of support. That's something I'm very grateful for. So what would I change about my community? Well, what I would have to say is I would like to see a lot more festivals and get-togethers, a little bit more fellowship, where people, strangers, can meet one another and network. I would also like to see a lot of other young men step up to the plate and be positive male role models in this community. So are leaders born, or are they created? I would have to say that through experience, people get to become leaders. They're not just born that way. I really don't believe that. I think it's your social upbringing, it's the choices you make, it's your willingness to actually put yourself out there, it's opportunities and timing in your life. It's all of those things kind of coming together as one. I do think your environment shapes you. So at the end of the day, we all make choices. And we have that fighting spirit, that human spirit within us. So perhaps one day you come to a fork in the road and you have to make a difficult decision. And you find out whether or not you are a leader, or you have that opportunity to become a leader. It's up to you to take it. So at a young age, I had it in my heart that I wanted to commit to always doing the right thing and having integrity and being a public servant, giving back to my community, but doing it in a meaningful way and really truly making a difference for the most vulnerable people in our society. My top 3 leadership skills are integrity, tenacity, and communication. And I'm gonna tell you why those are important. What is integrity? It's really what it boils down to is being true to yourself, being true to knowing what is true and doing the right thing at all costs, no matter what. Why is that important? Because it's gonna eat at you. If you're a true leader and you wanna make a difference in this community, you have to start by being true to yourself. You have to know who you are as an individual, and you have to know what type of character you have and stay true to those values. No matter how difficult it gets, people will respect you for staying true to yourself. Tenacity, being tenacious, being driven, absolute drive, and digging deep. Finding a solution where there may not be any solution. It's about having that mental fortitude that no matter what, you're gonna get through something, and continuing to be resilient and fighting through it. And I think every single leader needs to have that quality. The third one is communication. In relationships, people say communication is like the oxygen of a relationship. Well, communication is important in every single aspect. But communication is more than just articulating yourself or speaking. People will respect you if you can articulate yourself and get your point across, absolutely. But people will also respect you if you can listen effectively, and if you can take criticism, and if you can take feedback, and if you can implement changes within your life and become an even better leader through the ability to actually take input and listen to other people. So for that reason, I think every single leader needs to have amazing communication skills, both verbal and effective listening skills. How has my community responded to my leadership approach? Well, in regards to speaking up about the corruption and racism issues within law enforcement, the community has actually responded in a very pleasant, very positive manner, completely exceeding my expectation. People have messaged me, people have wrote on social media platforms and have been very grateful and thanked me for actually coming forward and telling the public about what's going on. As far as working with kids and working with youth, working with individuals with schizophrenia, developmental young people, behavioral kids, bipolar, autism, I've had several kids that have actually wrote me letters and said that I changed their life. Several kids that have called me over the phone and said it's because of me that they didn't take their life. And that means the world to me. And that's the reason why I've been in that field, and that's the reason why I will continue to be in that field and continue to work with youth. And so I do know that my leadership skills have made a huge difference, and that the community, including these kids and including members of the public that are being educated about human rights violations, are very grateful for what I bring to the table. So guys, this is my top 3 lessons for youth leadership. Number 1, and I would argue the most important one, have integrity. Know who you are as an individual. Having strong character builds a lot of respect. People will respect you, but it's a fake respect when you have status and you have money and you've achieved your goals. But what people really respect the most is the character that you have. When you can't be bought out, when your ethics are strong, your morals are there, and you know who you are as an individual. So I would urge you to really get to know who you are as an individual, right down to your core, what you believe in, what you stand for, because you will be tried and tested in this lifetime. No matter what, everybody's going to be challenged at some point, and you got to stay strong. So my number 2 tip for leadership for youth would be to think outside the box. Why do I say that? Because all this motivational talk sounds really good, but in reality, life is really hard. And you're gonna get positions where you run into a brick wall. No matter what, it's gonna be tough. You're gonna get shut down, you're gonna get rejected, you're gonna be hurt. That's part of life. It's about thinking outside the box. And a lot of people are always waiting for an opportunity rather than creating the opportunity. So guys, my last tip for youth leadership would be to always give back to your community. I can't stress that enough. It is so important to network with people. That is not the only reason you're giving back, but that is something that comes as an added bonus from volunteering. Get a chance to meet brand new cool people and learn from them. You don't know where that's going to take you, so you got to get involved. But there's such a power to giving back. You give back and it comes back to you. I think the biggest success to my own personal life and my own leadership skills has been the volunteer opportunities that I have either created or have taken upon doing. And people would laugh at me. Some of my friends would actually laugh at me and say, why are you wasting your time coaching, and why are you doing all this stuff on a Friday night when you could be partying? I do it because I not only want to give back, but I do it because it's fulfilling and it's a personal growth. What's inspired me to be a leader or a good leader? I would say most recently what's inspired me is the fact that I don't stand for racism, I don't stand for sexual harassment, I don't stand for discrimination or bullying. And I specifically do not stand for that when an individual has a badge and is a public servant and calls themselves an officer. It is something that just disgusts me, and it is something that I feel like I need to speak up about. I also have been inspired by events that have happened in my own life as of recent that have made me take a stand and have made me choose between my morals and my career. And I chose my morals. No matter what, I chose my morals. My ethics and my integrity mean everything to me. It means way more than a job, way more than a badge. It means more than any of that. So what are some of the challenges that you're gonna face as a leader on a daily basis, and what are the challenges that I have faced or continue to face? I would say I face friends not believing in you, sometimes your family not even believing in you or not understanding what your mission is, or thinking that you're wasting your time volunteering when you could be working, and just being opinionated or trying to control certain things. You could have policies and procedures that do not add up with what you're actually trying to accomplish at the ground level. And that's a big frustration for me usually, is trying to make a difference in people's lives and then having policies and procedures that take away from that opportunity to actually connect with people. That's probably one of my biggest challenges in leadership positions. So the way to overcome some of this stuff is, again, tenacity, having drive, knowing what your goals are, and just showing initiative. The more initiative you show, the more determination, the more likely you are to achieve these things. The more you achieve, the more people start buying in on it, and they realize that, okay, this person is for real, and they're actually hungry for success. They're going for their goals, and they're actually making a difference in this community. And when people realize that, they kind of leave you alone and they pull back. Matter of fact, they'll actually join you in your movement and what you're trying to do. So that's my biggest tip, is just remember that all this other stuff is it's nonsense. It's naysayers, it's people that don't understand you, it's jealousy and envy, but none of that matters. You got to stay true to your goal, and you got to stay focused. And that's the most important thing possible, and probably one of the biggest lessons that I can give you. Hey guys, this is the end of the video. Just to wrap it up, I just want to tell you that this video and my main message is all about staying true to who you are as an individual. Like I said earlier, knowing who you are as a person is one of the most important things in life, not just for leadership, in life, knowing who you are and staying true to your character. And you are going to get tried and you are going to get tested someday. And this is something that gets really overlooked, but integrity means everything. Stay true to yourself so that you can be a true leader. That is my main message right now. If you want to hear more about this, I'm going to be talking at the Queen's Cafe on August 18th, and I welcome anybody to come in and we can chat and we can connect and network with one another. So thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing day today, and look forward to meeting you. Goodbye.